What's going on, guys? This is Juan with Team Checkmate. Today we're going to be showcasing the deck that I played for the July 27th regional. I got top 16 with it. Let's get right into it. I played the Blue Tapion. Tapion's a pretty good deck, especially now. Yesterday I got to play, out of the 7 rounds, I played a Kidu skillless deck 5 times. Which actually, this deck, it's pretty decent against it, just because of the ability to, bottom deck the big guys, since they're like 3-drop or whatnot. Granted, they have Bunny Bowman, which is a problem, but and you kind of try to play around it, but hey, can't have it all, right? But anyway, moving into the deck, you already know what the leader does on the awaken side. Swing, look at top 5, grab any Phantom Demon or any hero. When you can awaken when you have a Phantom Demon on board. You go down to 6 life, awaken on top 1, draw 1, and on the awaken side, that's when he becomes pretty good. You can combo up to one of the little hero guys that 1-drops from the drop for free every turn, and then you can play up to 2 of them from the combo area. So then when you play them, you get to draw, and you already know the drill. Moving into the package, little guys that we're referring to, we play a total of 10 of them. This guy's draw 1, this guy's draw 1, this guy's look at top 5. This guy was very situational. Most of the time you charge it, or unless you're fishing for like super combos or something like that. These guys are pretty good, especially this ones, because this ones also have the ability where you activate battle, limit 1, you can combo. Even if they're rested, you can KO them basically and give it 5k to Phantom Demon, so you defend your legs or your torso or whatever. But yeah, you can get maximum value out of it if you play it that way. You also got, I also got 3 and 3 of the Trunks, 3 of the Tapions. The Trunks are pretty good just because they're activate battle. That's how you get basically rid of threats mid-battle, as long as you have, you bounce one of the 1-drops. This guy obviously ignores does the same thing, but it's an activate main, but this one ignores barrier. So some of the threats that are a little bit harder to remove, these guys can help with. Putting those aside, for the Heru package, I ran 3 of the legs, 3 of the torso, just because I wanted to see it a little bit more. I'm probably going to go to 3 on this one and just play 3 and 3, because sometimes I kind of wanted to see it sooner, and I kind of had to fish for it, and because I didn't have it, I was forced, like, let's say, even if I saw it with the top 5, I was forced to grab one of these, and when I probably wanted to grab something else, like the 8-drop or something else, but nonetheless, it was pretty good. This guy on swing, if you KO one of the hero cards, you can bottom deck a battle card, does not ignore barrier, and this guy gains plus 5k in crit, so for 1 energy you also draw 1 and throw 1 to the drop, so they're pretty cost effective when you think about it. Moving on from those guys, I play 3 of the big guy. The big guy is pretty good. As long as you have 2 blue cards, doesn't have to be battle cards, 2 blue cards, it could be a Z extra or something like that. You can play it for 2. On swing, he bottom decks a battle card, does not ignore barrier, and then he has an activate battle in which you can bounce one of the little guys, and he'll gain plus 10k and gain a double strike for that battle. That effect obviously is pretty good. Something that happened that people seems to forget is that since it's an activate battle, you can also do it defensively, and sometimes you trigger the leader ability, or you have your little guys rested or whatnot, and then you can use this ability defensively. He'll gain the power and the double strike, which doesn't matter realistically in defense, but you can get to bounce one of the 1-drops, and then you can use it as a combo piece. It's just an extra 5k at that point, because otherwise you were going to lose it most likely anyway. So that's pretty good. Aside from that, 3 of the Go tanks. The Go tanks, I kept it at 3, just because, even though U7 is not as popular anymore, but it's just a good call. It's just a good card overall. For 2, you can bottom deck a 6 or less, especially when you go into like the Black Vegito. If they play the 30ks and they need a piece to be able to fuse. You can get rid of it and things like that. It gets rid of some threats, so that's pretty good. Also, when you combine it with like this guy or the other Trunks at the end of the turn, you can untap an energy. So depending on the scenario, you can play with that and kind of get something out of it. I played 2 of these guys, which were pretty good actually yesterday, just because since I played so many of the Kidu, what I kept doing was putting their skillless into their Z energy. And then what happened was, even if they had Bunny Bulma, they just didn't have they had targets obviously, but they didn't have, the aggressive targets per se. They were forced to play like a draw 1 or things like that. So they came pretty clutch yesterday. I really liked it, although I don't think I would go any higher than 2. I think 2 is good enough just to see it in, situations where you need it. I main 2 of the P-Labs, just because I like the card. There's not really specific scenario, you know. I actually cited it out a lot yesterday, but it's just a card that I like to have. It's just for my play style. I have in my main 3 of the defending friends, it's just a decent floodgate, you know, for me to be able to stop some of the attacks, just because sometimes I found myself a little defenseless against some decks that can rush me down or whatnot. So I kind of wanted to have it. This deck, while you combo from the drop, normally you play the card, so you don't really build Z energy like that. So obviously we play the workaround for it. But overall, this card's just decent, right? For the super combo, we went with a split of Zeno and Tapion. Tapion because I can, you know, tutor it, I can grab with the leader, I can grab it with a 1-drop. And Zeno is just, need no explanation, just grabbing the energy, you know, and being able to untap an energy is just pretty good. We played 2 of the Kamehamehas just because this card is insane. If you combine this with the double striker, with the big guy, you're already swinging for 35, and you have the 15k, and you know, depending on the scenario, you can commit just for the kill. It's just pretty good. You don't only have to do with that. You can do it with the 20k, double striker, the Tapion. It's just so many scenarios where this card becomes really useful, or even defensively, where you don't have to spend the energy as it restands it. It's just a really solid card. I really like this card at 2. I don't think it will go any higher, but I really liked it at 2. I mean, I don't really have to say anything about that. I think everybody know that if you're playing blue, you're playing new Magic. It's just, this card's just amazing. I chose to go with 3 beans just because I wanted to see it. I actually ended up generally siding 1 out. I'm just playing 2, just because, you know, I saw it kind of like a little bit too much. I didn't really need it like that. I actually, my last match against Jason Scott, shout out to Jason, I lost because I drew a bean. We were both at 30k power, and he knew it because he outplayed the SCR, the Vegito SCR, he knew what was in my hand. And we were both exactly at 30k. The problem is, I had a draw mid-battle. And if I drew a 5k, I would have won at that point, but I drew a bean. And it was 30-30, I ended up losing that match. But it was a really fun match. Again, shout out to Jason, it was really fun. I went with 1 secret ID, 1 of the Gohans, 1 monkey. I don't think I've used that card, or this card, not even once yesterday. I think I actually cited it out pretty much in every game, just because, you know, Explosive Dance is pretty good. And again, predominantly I played against red. Explosive Dance is pretty good, but I just didn't see myself in a scenario where I wanted to pay 5 just for that. I'd rather just kind of push through it. So I didn't really play it like that. I will still keep it just in case. These guys don't, you know, need explanations. They're pretty good. This gets rid of threats, and you know, this just whiteboard. You can change this to the Vegeta overall if you'd like to. It's just, this was just preference, honestly. And obviously for the SCR, not really any other choice, realistically. It's honestly, I've always said, if I could play this SCR on a different deck, on any other, like yellow or any other guy, this is my go-to SCR. To me, I just love this SCR. I think this SCR is great. Moving on to the Z deck. To the C deck, I played 1 Cell. I'm not really going to go into details. 1 Beerus, 1 Goku, 1 of the Big Boy Vegito, 1 of the C Unisons, 1 of this card, which since I started playing this deck, I've never used, not even once. 3 of these, not for a specific reason, just because I didn't really have much stuff, and 1 of these just to kind of trigger 17. Some scenarios, like I said, you don't make C energy like that majority of the time, so this is like your way to be able to trigger it or whatnot, and easy way just because it costs 1. Moving on to the side deck. So for my side, the choices I've made were more based off my play style more so than anything. Me personally, I struggle a lot against Black Vegito, so I kind of wanted to have something to get rid of it, you know, early if they played it or whatnot. So, but I don't like the Demigra option, just because I feel like if you don't see it early and you see it later, it's like a dead card. So I don't really play that one, so I just chose to go with 3 black smokes just to cover not only the Vegito, but like if I came across any hand destruction or, you know, unison base something, and I could have like multi-use for it basically. Then I played 2 of this guy just in case I found Gogeta, because if not, I can't get rid of it basically. I have the 4th defending friend here, again for the aggro decks and things like that if I needed more negates. I kept the Dabura too. Just because I feel like, especially since I had the 3 of these in this deck already, like pluses, I guess you could say, it's kind of hard to get hand control, especially with the things that are out there right now. So I figured that 2 would be just fine. And I don't think, well, I played majorly red, so I didn't really cite it yesterday. I played one of these and one of these. Again, I personally struggle with a lot of, the aggro deck sometimes, so I chose to basically make up for that, and that's where this 2 came in clutch, especially this card, actually. Against the Kidu, the red Kidu, this was awesome. There were some turns where I just played this, and then if it didn't stop the turn, it kept me alive for me to be able to clap, to clap back, basically. So I really like this card, although I don't know I will, up it or anything like that, but I really liked it. I got the 4th Trunks, just because, again, think decks like that where I can interrupt mid-battle. This was just great. The Mafuba for any of the big guys, some big thread, or, whatever came across. You never know. So I just had it in there just in case. I had a second one of these. Again, this is just in case type of thing too. I don't know if I would keep it, honestly, on my side, because like I said, I cited the other one out pretty much every time. This was just, just in case something happened. I got this Unison, just in case I saw like Android 21 or something like that. It's never bad to have it. And lastly, one Meki, just in case, somebody was playing something that would stop me, like a hard battle card that's a hard, Floodgate, name it, Oceanus, things like that. It was more like, it's more like a tag, like, one-off, just I'll do it and try to catch him off guard and kind of go for the kill that way. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much the deck. I ended up 11th, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I have to say it was pretty fun. I really liked playing yesterday. I've actually myself been away from playing for a little bit just because I've been really busy on my personal life. So hopping back, into the game and doing all of that stuff felt really, really good. It actually reignited my willingness to play, if you may say. It was really fun. Again, shout out to Team Checkmate, and I'll see you guys on the next one.